census had in fact been doctored out of the story. In one instance, they discovered that Xi Jinping, the bat lady in Wuhan, had collected samples of a bat coronavirus that were virtually identical to COVID-19. Where did she get these samples? Well, she found them in a cave in the Yunnan province in China. Several miners had been killed there after inhaling the guano left by these bats. She recognized this virus was significant because they had without going through an intermediate animal host first. The Chinese seemed to be looking for the most dangerous virus they could find, and in that case, they found this. After the coronavirus pandemic began, Xi Jinping tried to hide that COVID-19 was virtually identical to this virus that she collected in the mine. For the record, Xi Jinping coronavirus strains they encountered in recent years. The paper listed hundreds of them, and yet somehow, you'll be surprised by this, they omitted the deadly viruses found in the Yunnan mine. Funny. Were those viruses significant? Well, the government of China appears to think they are. Late last year, journalists from the BBC tried to visit that mine to get some answers. But when they got there, they were followed by plainclothes police officers. They found roads lined, check-in blocks, bags, broken down trucks. So the Chinese government covered this up. So here's the worst part, the most shocking part here in America. Some within the U.S. government helped them cover it up. They knew all along this was going on, but they buried the truth too, because their interests were aligned with the interests of the Chinese government. Christopher Park, a director of the State Department's Non-Proliferation Bureau, told the agency's investigators, quote, not to say anything that would point to the U.S. government's own role in gaining functional research. That's not to shut people up. In other words, they acted just like the people you see on TV, just like MSNBC anchors. They did not act like federal officials who have been sworn to protect American lives. They don't protect American lives. Official Jamie Maxwell, who history will be very kind to. He's been asking honest questions since the very beginning of his nonpartisan questions, as he should have done, and he did. We're happy to have him join us now. Jimmy, thanks So, my absolutely, Tucker. I mean, what we need is what we call it the scientific method. It's data driven. But by a number, even a small number of scientists who had very significant conflicts of interest, undisclosed conflicts of interest, and unfortunately, we collectively allowed a fake consensus to emerge. And I think that stifled some very healthy conflict that needed to happen last year. A lot of us have been very, very hard for almost a year. And suddenly, appropriately, this kind of behavior. I mean, it's something we thought constantly. We shot fire. Imprisoning Chinese citizen journalists, asking the most basic questions. They established a universal gag order on their scientists. So there wasn't a lot of information coming out. As a result, here we're a bit hands off because they didn't have the data. There were a small number of these self-interested scientists who recognized, and you quoted me in your intro, that there was a binary outcome. That if the story was that this pandemic starts from a natural outbreak, it's not just that that's a boon for virology. It also helps support things that many people really believe in. Very toxic political environment. And I was one of the people who were a big critic of President Trump, and there was a lot of things that he said that I didn't agree with. But I never wanted to be in a position where I just did something just because someone maybe I didn't even like said it. And so when President Trump last year was talking about the origins, I may have not disliked 95% of what he said, but it made sense to me. And I felt that we have to, whatever our background, we have to be asking these tough questions, forgetting who's saying it, but look at the data and follow the evidence. Stay rational, and you'll be rewarded in the end. And I hope you are being rewarded for doing that. You deserve to be. Jamie, I appreciate your time. Thank you. My pleasure. So there are people, not just a few people, but quite a number of people who are sitting in solitary confinement in the DC jail charged with trespassing. And yet Tony Fauci is not only free and unindicted, uninvestigated, but he's running around basking in the love on cable TV shows. What's the difference? Well, possibly Tony Fauci knows how to use the media. If you watched MSNBC last night, you saw these surreal interviews he did with Jeb Bush's former flat. Really, it's hard to believe that actually happened. Over at CNN, one anchor at least tried to make his interview with Tony Fauci look legitimate. He asked Fauci why some of his emails were heavily redacted. And Fauci was laughed in his face. The email exchange between you and NIH Director Franklin Collins, email from you, said conspiracy theory gained momentum. Again, with the idea of the lab leak. The email, though, as you see, you have to remember, John, they only took about 10,000 emails from me. Of course, I remember all 10,000 of them. Give me a break. But you're saying you don't remember. You can't tell us what was in that body that day. I don't remember what's in that redacted, but I mean, the idea, I think, is quite far-fetched that the Chinese deliberately engineered something so that they can kill themselves as well as other people. I think that's a bit far out. Wasn't much of an interview. That's what
Shit.
to be fair, Frank by and Fauci refused to discuss whether China might have a motive to cover up the last week. You say it's in China's interest, though. Would you agree, though, Dr. Fauci, it is in their interest to hide it if there was a word that they were designing something to the world that America didn't know that it came out of their own lab? Wouldn't they want to conceal that? You know, Willie, I don't want to be speculating on that because every time I say something like that, if you know it as well as I, it will get completely taken out of context and go into the Twitter world like crazy. So, I mean, I'm going to leave that to other people and not surmise and guess whose interest it is. It's not helpful. Ready to buy the columnist of the New York Post. She joins us tonight. Ray, thanks so much for coming. You hate to keep grousing about the media because it does get repetitive, but this is something that actually matters because if we don't know where the virus came from, we can't prevent another pandemic. And, you know, we can probably save lives if we figure this out. At what point are we going to get to the bottom of this? Will the media decide, you know, enough of this nonsense? Tony Fauci, answer the freaking question.
Well, I don't know if they ever will. I think Anthony Fauci has been very clever at shaping the media, particularly on this pandemic story. I mean, he knew from day one that there were reputable scientists who believed that this was a man-made virus. He also knew that he had been funding gain-of-function, Frankenstein research to juice up that coronavirus in the Wuhan lab, specifically to get around the Obama administration's ban. Anthony Fauci was probably the world's greatest fan, greatest supporter of this dangerous gain-of-function research, and there were hundreds of American scientists who thought it was too dangerous to persist with. They convinced the Obama administration to lift the ban. Then Tony Fauci took advantage of the new Trump administration in their early days in 2017 to go and tell them that there was nothing dangerous. They'd done a review, and he lifted that moratorium. And he is, you know, if this was a lab leak, that's why he has a vested interest. The last thing he wants is for anybody in the media to unquote. Fauci was funding repeated data from EcoHealth Alliance, and like Anthony Fauci, he's very powerful in terms of shaping the narrative. You just talked about the Lancet article that he engineered, and also he was the only American person on the World Health Organization investigation whitewash into what happened in the lab.
Yeah, I hope that you can put things, and I know that you have been, Miranda Devine, you and a few others, to get to the bottom of this because it has consequences, not just for understanding our past, but for the future. This is Frankenstein stuff, and it should stop immediately. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, Tanner. So equity is the idea that some people are better, and some people are worse. Some people should be rewarded, and others punished based on the way they look, how they perform on their skin colors for tests. It's not mandatory in some kindergarten classrooms, this poison. At least one mother is fighting back against this. She's been threatened for it. We have an update next. On to Tucker Carlson today. There are a lot of newsmakers and topics that we don't have time to cover in any depth. It is a real blackballing situation. It's fairly disrupting in my mind that the government didn't do something far earlier. The most important conversations are happening in one place. You don't have to wait for tonight. Watch Tucker Carlson today with new episodes streaming Monday, Wednesday, and Friday exclusively on Fox News. Subscribe now. Our fund diversified inside markets $1 billion in value in profit. The Fed has plummeted interest rates, so hedge against inflation and stocks drop. Call for our free investors report, Flow with the Fed. Call 800-800-1414. That's 800-800-1414.
Idea how your mattress affects your body and how well you sleep? Is it too hard or too soft, causing you to wake up with sore shoulders, back, or hips? Are you uncomfortable because you're too hot or too cold? Now you can get the total body support you need and the better sleep you want with the new My Pillow mattress topper.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell. When I invented my new My Pillow mattress topper, I made it to have everything you'd ever want in a topper. My mattress topper helps give you the support you need, helps relieve your pressure points, and regulates your body temperature for you as an individual. It comes with a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry the cover. Made in the USA, and I back it with my 60-day money-back guarantee.
Or call now to get your very own My Pillow mattress topper. Use the promo code and Mike will give you 30% off and 2 standard My Pillows absolutely free. Order now.
My Pillow topper delivers profits to give you that sleep.
All night through, and it's a miracle for me. Mike's exclusive 3-layer design starts with a layer of My Pillow first, evenly distributes body weight and helps relieve uncomfortable pressure points for optimal comfort. Mike's ultra soft outer layer is a patented temperature-regulating cover that helps keep you at your ideal sleeping temperature all night long. Unlike other sleep systems cost thousands, the My Pillow mattress topper takes comfort to a whole new level without any wires, remotes, or moving parts. Call now or go to mypillow.com to order your My Pillow topper. Use the promo code to save 30%. When you do, Mike will give you 2 of his standard My Pillows free.
Okay, good news. Smith Stadium Boxing Monday animation. Would you write me a prescription for some sexual healing? I don't write prescriptions. Box, how'd you color?
Give me a real boom and a real bang.
You can watch Housebroken. Oh, it's but in a good way.
Highly recommend.
Anytime.
I'll be famous.
Continuation. All new Mondays on Fox and watch anytime on Fox Now or Hulu. Movies exposed. Get the truth behind the your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Text ROO2321 This unique man-boosting formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help increase testosterone levels. What that does is I gotta get Nugenix. Just send a text for a complimentary bottle. And by the way, on UFOs. What exactly do they know? They're required, language inserted by Marco Rubio in last year's budget, requires them to tell us. Now keep in mind, the bottom line finding of all government reports, no matter what they're about, is we need more money from you. There's no question this is what we're back. Increase the DOD budget. The entire military. This is not some secret advanced government technology they haven't been telling us about. They don't know where they are from. They don't know if they're from another country or from another planet. They have no idea. We'll apparently learn more on June 25th, and that's when the unclassified report is set to arrive. And of course, we'll give you all the details we can, and maybe more later. Nicole Solas is the mother of a kindergartner enrolled in school in South Kingston, Rhode Island. The school is forcing them school district at a hearing accused her of being, that thing.
This issue is a much larger issue. No matter what, the disturbing of harm organized racist groups to create chaos and intimidate a district. Children about Thanksgiving, they asked them what could have been done differently on Thanksgiving, which strikes me as a way to shame children for their American heritage.
Well, of course it is. Yeah, of course it is. It's the way to make them hate the country. So you asked about this, and when they called you a bigot, you're trying to talk about what they were telling your child. How's that work?
Right. Well, that is a highly false, outrageous defamatory statement that should be retracted, and the parent school committee should resign immediately. But this is what they do. They smear people who ask them questions, who disagree with them, and it's like a false accusation of racism that they use to book movement to silence. They reduce everyone down to the color of their skin, and community work is more than that. And if this is any indication of what's going on in my school district, our town is in deep trouble. This is exactly why I was submitting my public records request to get information about how exactly this is being taught in our school. And then they turn around and have a public meeting to discuss suing me for submitting a public record request, which they told me to do.
That's right. Well, their hysteria tells you everything. A hurt dog barks. They can't answer these questions. They can't defend their racist lunacy in the light of day. And so they attack you. Tell me what other parents would. How would they respond to you?
Other parents, they want transparency. I got great community support that came in person to the meeting. I had people coming from other towns. I had people coming from other states. I had people from other states finding me on Facebook and messaging me and telling me that they were going to watch the school committee meeting from another state. And I want parents to know that if they are going to get answers from their school district, they need to submit public records request. It's called an APRA. It stands for the Access to Public Records Act. This is a way that you can legally compel your school to answer your questions so you can know what is being taught in your classes. Parents across the country have to start holding their school officials accountable. They are our civil servants. They work for us. They are not supposed to be these tyrants in the classroom. We need to stop being afraid of retaliation. If the retaliation is there, it happened to me, but our children are worth the risk of that retaliation because we're the only ones that are going to be asking these questions. So parents, please start submitting your public records request and ask what's going on in the classroom.
That's so inspiring. That's great. Yeah, what does that cost? We need more brave people like you. Nicole, I appreciate it. You're doing this and coming on and tell us about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Hunter.
So, who are you think of? There's no feeling like it. When you brush your gear, done research, but nailed the presentation. And now there's only one thing left to do. Keep fishing. To gear up with all the best fishing gear. Only at Bass Pro Shops and BattleRivals. Shopping in stores or online. Big Wallet package all month. That's all we need. That's every outcome. Creating our new system if they place. Doesn't matter what. We are awesome chemical laboratories. So how do you like with the big formulated doctor? There's hundreds of thousands of chemicals in every visual tool that are natural based. Near the most Sonoma. I love going to that track. I have fun out there. Go get off this like slide around wrestling. as seriously as they promised they would. And suddenly they start to multiply. They appear to have anyway. When hackers shut down the gas supply at the eastern seaboard earlier this year, for example, the White House said it's private. And watch how Joe Biden's top spokeswoman reacted yesterday to a hack of about 250,000 servers operated by Microsoft. Microsoft says that hack came from China. Here's how the White House responded.
And one of the leaders in national security advisor, Jake Sullivan, came in here and told us that the U.S. in the near future is going to use it for when they is responsible for the hack on Microsoft.
Well, also is not commenting on news today that hackers with ties to China tried to hack the New York subway system in April of this year. But the interesting thing is that not all hacks get this treatment. You can find the difference when another country is involved. Why?
President Biden certainly thinks that President Putin and the Russian government has a role to play in it will be a topic of discussion when they meet in 2 weeks.
What's going on here is that Mr. Carson, BattleRivals has a theory about it. He joins us tonight. Glenn, it seems like a potentially crippling problem in these cyber attacks world with the power of attack on the internet. You could shut us down with a keystroke. The responses from official Washington are puzzling. What do you make of them?
It's obviously bizarre in the sense that we're constantly talking about our massive defense budget. We spend 10 times more on defense than the next 12 countries combined. It is run through this, and constantly this word is invoked to justify these huge bureaucracies and these huge military budgets of we have to defend the country. And when you look at the defense budget, very little of it is actually about defense. Things like protecting our industries and our food supply and our energy supply from actual hacks, right? That's spending money to fortify those systems. That would be defense. There's very little of it that's spent on that. You see this over and over. You know, when I did the Snowden reporting in 2013, which was about 8 years ago, which is when that report came out, $75 billion was spent on the intelligence budget. Almost all was spent on spying on American citizens, hacking into the systems of other countries. Virtually none was spent on how to use defense, defending our own country. And even during Russiagate, when there was all that hysteria about the Russians hacking our election system, people like Tulsi Gabbard, a Democratic congresswoman, would say, if you're really not worried about it, pass this bill to provide paper ballots to make sure there can't be hacking. And there was no interest in that. It seems like sometimes there's a real interest in hyping this enemy, constantly creating new programs and bureaucracies that take billions of dollars, but simple solutions to actually provide defense don't generate much interest in Washington.
That is such a great point about paper ballots. And people just weren't interested. I vaguely remember that people were not very interested actually in protecting the system with paper ballots. They would do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what was her point. You know, Tulsi Gabbard would always say, all you do is hear about Russian interference in our election, Russian hacking of our election system. There's a really simple solution. I have a 2-paragraph bill that just requires states to generate paper ballot backup so that nobody can ever hack our voting machines because we'll have a paper backup to prove it. And I think she had like 4 sponsors in all of Congress while they were constantly babbling about Russian interference in our elections. And it just shows you that so often these things are pretexts to build massive budgets that really have nothing to do with the interests of the American people.
It's totally and exactly right. And your point about our food supply is ominously true. The country's biggest beef supplier was just taken down with a cyber attack the other day. So, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good to be with you, Dr. Banks.
So there's a lot, billions, well, trillions, in fact, of coronavirus money floating around being awarded. Well, in the face of skin color, in a lot of cases, isn't that illegal? You bet it is immoral. It goes without saying, but it's happening. Almost nobody's fighting back. Stephen Miller, former White House advisor, is leading a legal charge against this. The judge just handed out a ruling in the case. Miller joins us after the break to explain what happened. place for everything Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson Originals. We don't stop this time. All state and anytime, anywhere you want. For full episodes of Tucker Carlson, available the next day, every day, free. The best hedge is hard assets with lower risk and higher returns, including steady cash flow. The NRIA Prime Real Estate Fund pays a 10% monthly distribution plus targeted returns of 21%. Our fund diversifies against stock market risk with over $1 billion in new development value in progress. The Fed has plummeted interest rates, so if you can get pleasure in stock drop, call for our free investment report, Grow with the Fed. Call 800-800-1440. That's 800-800-1440. Dark chocolate.
And make the mystery dessert. We're gonna win.
But did you make the right dessert?
Prime Music is only Wednesdays on Fox. Watch anytime on Fox Now and Hulu. When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tight. We were trained to put things that were without fun. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I wasn't going to
Thank God for all that. Both stars and stripes, may freedom forever fly. Let it rain. Salute the ones who died. The ones that give their life. So we don't have to fight. All we need is go on track. Visit splashfinancial.com today.
Having trouble getting help for erectile dysfunction? Get help fast with Lemonade Help. Just answer a few questions. And they can send you medication so you can get better quickly. Visit lemonadehelp.com today. signing in Boston, he filed to hold Brooks accountable for the insurrection. Country. It's like millions of your listeners. So I put together a group, hired some of the best lawyers in the country to stand up for civil rights in America. We hear two terms a lot in this country: systemic racism and institutional racism. Almost always those terms are wielded by progressives in a way that is a lie, that is dishonest, that is smear. In this case, we have realized institutional racism. Same situation, the same rights under law to apply just as any other American. We want equality, not equity, which is code word for racism. Why isn't the NAACP joining you? I thought they were against discrimination. What we are finding out, which is tragic, which is heartbreaking, is that progressives in this country are willing to use the awesome power of the federal government to punish people solely based on how they look or where their ancestors come from. If we allow that to happen to our children, to our colleagues, to our neighbors, to our fellow citizens, the American experiment, Tucker, it's over. Those are the stakes here. That's why we're doing this. Because of how someone looks. What's next? Put someone in jail because of how they look? Take away somebody's entire life, their dreams, everything they have? This is genuinely depraved. It is sick what is going on, and it is absolutely a violation of law. Yeah, and it's a reason everything you said is true. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's the news for you. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of My Pillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 15 years ago, I invented My Pillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented pillow so you could have the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made My Pillow machine washable and dryable. I back My Pillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota.
I really like the fact that it was made in the USA. I think that USA products are a better quality product. I've tried a lot of other pillows, and nothing's worked like My Pillow.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now. Retailers have canceled My Pillow. And to thank you for your support, I'm going to pass the savings directly on to you for a limited time. You get premium My Pillows regularly $69.98. Now it's $29.98. And that's the lowest price in history.
I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Easy Dream sheets. They are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
The whole pillow is so easy to just roll up and take anywhere I want to go.
The My Pillow offer for the first time has enabled me to it's My Pillow mattress. devices. Easy to use website. Huge selection of parts and fast shipping.
Many doctors and specialists recommend eating a diet rich in fruits and vegetables because they are scientifically proven to provide your body with numerous benefits. Inside each fruit and vegetable are thousands of nutrients known as phytochemicals. They help keep your cells strong, building whole foods isolated plant using artificial vitamins. But phytochemicals need to work together, and isolating them can have harmful effects. Only by eating whole fruits and vegetables can you get all the phytochemicals working together in harmony. At Balance in Nature, we understand this. That is why we use whole, natural produce in our products, providing your body with all the nutrition it needs on a daily basis. See why people all across the world are taking Balance in Nature by going to balanceinature.com or 1-800-244-7551. And don't forget to get 35% off your first order as a preferred customer by using discount code BOXNEWS.
Back in January, Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri did what many Democrats have done in previous presidential elections. He voted against certifying the results and the review. For Democrats, Hawley became the most reviled man in Washington. Democrats demanded his expulsion from Congress. And their own Republican primary chief suggested it was time. In a press exercise it. But for me personally, what happened to Josh Hawley was more than an academic question. At the time his book was canceled, I was also under contract to produce a book for Simon & Schuster, Fletcher's magazine journalism. Simon & Schuster was paying me to do it, but it still seemed cowardly not to address directly what they had just done to Josh Hawley. So I called the head of the company to deal with Josh Hawley. And I told him that I thought canceling a book for unsolicited was disgusting and wrong, and it set a very bad precedent for American publishing. Then I told him I wanted to write about what he had done in my new book, because it had a snapshot of what was happening across the country. So I started to look forward. In the end, I interviewed Josh Hawley more than 90 days for decades.
the perilous journey alone and why, in fact, this child took this journey. Spoiler alert, think President Sippy Cup. Also tonight, new tape from a New York City school that is teaching grammar school kids porn literacy in school. They just run Howard Stern reruns. Also tonight, the great one, Mark Levin, will be here. He has a special message for engineering viruses to make them more potent and thus more dangerous, more lethal. Practices so risky with banned in the universe. In the U.S. Also, the same day, President is xenophobic and hysterical travel ban. Now, Fauci and the entire world knew that the Wuhan facility was experimenting with gain of function with coronaviruses. Logically, any idiot could have realized on January 31st, 2020, that a Wuhan lab leak was plausible and possibly responsible for the pandemic. He brought the question up, you're a conspiracy theorist. You're talking about debunked conspiracy theories. Not so debunked anymore, are they? Emails now prove that Dr. Fauci knew that everything was happening in the lab, and he was showing great concern that, in fact, NIH money that he was in charge of was being used to do all of this. We may have actually paid for this. And for months in public, Fauci treated the lab leak hypothesis as a Fox News conspiracy theory. He said there was no scientific evidence the coronavirus was made in a Chinese lab, even though he got that note on January 31st on 2020. He strongly implied that all signs pointed to the virus originating in nature, just the opposite of what he was told. So why did he do this? What did Fauci know, and when did Fauci know it? Again, new emails from February 1st, the day after 2020, it shows that Fauci and his colleagues, they were extremely concerned that the NIH may in fact have funded this very specific Chinese lab and specifically gain of function research. Yeah.